Welcome to Google Public Sector Best of Next 2026. I'm absolutely thrilled to have you join us as we walk through all the insights and announcements coming out of our Google Cloud Next event and how this work will integrate with your mission outcomes. At the heart of Next 26, Google Public Sector walked through the blueprint for agentic enterprise. We emphasize that for our government and education partners, this blueprint offers a framework to build a unified system that integrates with your existing technology, allowing the systems you rely on today to become a strategic backbone for what's next. Just as importantly, our shared vision keeps human in the lead, where we view this agentic approach as a true collaborative partnership between AI and your workforce, empowering public servants to deliver better experiences and achieve greater mission impact. Next was full of exciting announcements, but today I want to focus on the ones that matter the most to your mission. To empower your teams, we introduced the new Gemini Enterprise Agent Platform, giving the ultimate toolkit to build, manage, and scale AI agents. We also introduced the new Agentic Data Cloud, completely reimagining your data platform with an AI native architecture. For your teams, this means breaking down silos and unlocking intelligence. On the security front, we introduced Agentic Defense, shifting the paradigm from reactive alerts to autonomous, proactive protection, powered by AI and bolstered by the addition of Wiz to our security portfolio. This is exactly how we fortify your security posture to protect critical infrastructure and sensitive data in an AI-first world. So, what can you expect in this session? We have packed our time together with the absolute best of Next, specifically for our public sector community. There's a lot of ground to cover today, so let's jump right in. Welcome to Google Public Sector Best of Next.
Welcome, everyone, to Google Cloud Next. Just 1 year ago, we stood on this same stage and promised a new future for AI. Over the last year, we didn't just see adoption, we saw transformation. Nearly 75% of Google Cloud customers now leverage our AI products to power their businesses. You have moved beyond the pilot. The experimental phase is behind us. The answer is a unified stack. You cannot deliver AI by piecing together a puzzle piece of fragmented silicon and disconnected models. To drive real value, you need an architecture where chips are designed for the models. Models are grounded in your data. Agents and applications are built with models and secured by the infrastructure.
The pace of technological change has been faster than I've ever seen. We are making big investments now and for the future. Today, I'm excited to announce our new Gemini Enterprise Agent Platform. It provides the secure, full-stack connective tissue you need to build, scale, govern, and optimize your agents with confidence. Think of it as mission control for the agentic enterprise.
The Gemini Enterprise Agent Platform is the environment where your business logic, your data, and your models converge to drive autonomous action. Our most advanced reasoning model, Gemini 3.1 Pro, is available in preview. It's optimized for complex workflow orchestration. It bridges the gap between strategy and autonomous execution, interacting with your APIs and systems with minimal tuning. We support all the leading models from Anthropic, including Claude Opus, Sonnet, and Haiku. And today, we're adding support for Anthropic's Claude Opus 4.7 for a mission that's quite literally out of this world. We were very proud to partner with NASA to use Gemini Enterprise agents to power flight readiness and ensure astronaut safety for Artemis 2. Leading organizations aren't just using Gemini Enterprise to work faster. They're using it to redefine what their businesses can do. Now, we built the agent platform to manage the entire life cycle of an agent. The low-code agent studio enables every employee to build and deploy agents using natural language. To manage these assets, the agent registry provides a single point of control indexing every internal agent and tool across your organization. Our skills and tools registry allows you to define modular, reusable packages of instructions, scripts, and resources to teach agents to perform specialized tasks or repeatable workflows. All of this is also supported by our agent marketplace, allowing you to search and deploy specialized agents from our global partner ecosystem directly in Gemini Enterprise. And now, with agent identity, every agent has a unique cryptographic ID and well-defined authorization policies that are traceable and auditable, ensuring you can track every action in your company and manage all your agents. To give your teams a permanent memory, we're introducing Gemini Enterprise Projects. Projects give your agents a high-fidelity workspace and the ability to use deep think to solve your most complex business challenges without context pollution. We're also adding Microsoft 365 interoperability, allowing you to export the docs and slides you've created within Canvas into common Microsoft Office formats.
Gemini Enterprise is the front door for AI in our business, and we're using it to bring natural language intelligence to our crew.
Gemini Enterprise is helping us bring Project Ruby to life. It's going to allow our crew to feel confidence with any question they're asked.
Back when I was training, our tools were camcorders and basically guesswork. Over time, I've seen the tricks get bigger and the walls get higher. And now, Google Cloud is bringing AI to the mountain.
We're taking the exact same technology that empowers athletes and applying it to the enterprise. Because while athletes use data to understand the game, the enterprise needs it to change the game. Because in the agentic era, compute is no longer defined by chip. Compute is the entire data center. I am proud to announce our 8th generation TPUs. These are things of beauty. For the very first time, we're launching 2 specialized platforms, each built from the ground up for the distinct demands of training and serving. TPU AT is a powerhouse optimized for training. AT provides 2 petabytes of shared bandwidth memory. To put that scale in perspective, 2 petabytes is enough to hold the entire digital connection of the Library of Congress 100 times over. TPU 8i is optimized for the thinking part of the equation, inference and reinforcement learning. We are extending our infrastructure leadership to general purpose workloads as well with Google Cloud Axion.
With TPU Ironwood, we can now run thousands of parallel chips for a single workload. And what that means for our business is workloads that used to take weeks or days, we can now execute those in hours or even minutes.
As we like to say, steel sharpens steel. Google Cloud and Citadel Security's collaboration has been exactly that.
Reasoning without context is just a guess. Today, we're completely rethinking the data platform. We call it the Agentic Data Cloud. To make this real, I'm thrilled to share 4 foundational innovations. We are introducing the Knowledge Catalog, a universal context engine for your enterprise. The second that image or PDF hits Google Cloud Storage, they are instantly tagged, enriched, and made agent-ready. 0 manual data engineering. We are unveiling a Gemini-powered data science authoring experience that fundamentally transforms how data practitioners work. With our new Data Agent Kit, we're unleashing the Lightning Engine for Apache Spark. It not only delivers industry-leading performance for Spark, Lightning Engine delivers up to 2x the price performance over the previous market leader. Today, we are introducing the Cross-Cloud Lakehouse, where your analytical engine reasons over data in any cloud. Built on the open Apache Iceberg standard, it is completely borderless. No more moving data, no more vendor lock-in, just freedom.
In an agentic enterprise, giving agents the power to act means that security must become an autonomous force, moving faster than the threats themselves. We're moving the heavy lifting to a Gemini-native Agentic Security Operations Center, or SOC. Now, the biggest threats today aren't just hackers. It's also shadow AI, unauthorized models and agents that are operating in your enterprise, but outside your control. I am thrilled to officially welcome the Wiz team to Google Cloud. Together, we are building a new security posture for the agentic enterprise.
We built Wiz as the first AI application protection platform, or in short, AI app. Wiz delivers a set of expert AI agents. They form an AI layer to autonomously identify, investigate, and then fix critical risks at machine speed, leveraging context from our unique security graph.
At Google, we are using that foundation to solve two of your biggest challenges: serving your customers and helping your employees work smarter. We do this by deploying a coordinated agentic task force. Specialized agents that don't just assist your team, they operate alongside them. We have introduced pre-built shopping and food ordering agents that handle everything from discovery to checkout, entirely through natural language.
When customers come into the store and they use Magic Apron, typically it's about wayfinding, it's about product knowledge, it's about compatibility, but they also use it at home, on our website. Those experiences should all get better. Easier to be inspired, easier to find what I need, easier to order it and get it, easier to get support after the fact.
We're introducing workspace intelligence. Think of it as a unified intelligence layer that lives inside every workspace app. With Ask Gemini, Google Chat becomes my command center. Workspace intelligence understands the context of my meetings and the content inside my files. It pointed me directly to the doc with the exact graph I need. A needle in a haystack solved in seconds. I'm thrilled to announce that migrating your entire organization, including complex and finance teams, from Microsoft 365 to Google Workspace, is now up to 5 times faster, thanks to our new migration and interoperability enhancements.
We are connecting our business end-to-end for faster AI deployment across the enterprise. With Google Cloud, we are turning intelligence into a growth engine.
We believe the future of AI must be open. We offer you an integrated stack, but the freedom to choose the world's best chips and models, the freedom to run AI wherever your data may live. We've introduced our agentic blueprint as a foundation for agents to transform your companies. This platform is ready, so what will each of you build?
Through our research, we found that public sector organizations in particular have been early and ambitious adopters of AI and agents. In fact, our findings with GovExec show that 90% of federal agencies are already using AI. And according to our return on investment of AI in the public sector report, 55% of public sector leaders say that their organizations are already using AI agents. 42% report that their organization has deployed more than 10 agents, and nearly half, 46%, say their productivity has at least doubled thanks to AI agents. So today, for public sector organizations, AI first is no longer just a buzzword, it's a requirement for funding. Here are just a few examples. The US Department of Transportation, who you will hear from shortly, wanted to empower their entire staff across the department to work smarter and faster with cloud-based productivity and collaboration tools to ultimately strengthen the safety and reliability of the nation's transportation systems. They turned to Google. The state of Iowa wanted to transform how child welfare services are delivered and create a blueprint for advanced technology systems that can be leveraged by states nationwide. They turned to Google. The US Food and Drug Administration, who will be joining us on stage momentarily, wanted to empower agencies, employees, agency-wide with AI and agents, from reviewers to scientists to investigators, to protect public health, ensure product safety, and improve the ability to accelerate more cures and more meaningful treatments that benefit everyone. They turned to Google. The Chief Digital and AI Office wanted to equip all of their personnel, over 3 million, with tools to support critical, unclassified workloads. You guessed it, they too turned to Google. The City of Los Angeles, who you will also get to hear from, wanted to empower their employees, more than 27,000, to deliver faster and more accessible services for the city's 4 million residents, where over 224 languages are spoken. They wanted to build the technological foundation as the city prepares to host the 2026 World Cup, the 2027 Super Bowl, and the 2028 Olympic and Paralympic Games. We're super proud they turned to Google. We are so proud that Google is the partner that organizations turn to as they move from AI experimentation and pilots to total agentic transformation. Our complete unified stack is what makes all of this possible. The stack is purpose-built for commercial industries and the public sector, with the foundation of security, openness, and scale. With this complete stack, along with our latest Gemini model advancements and agentic innovations, we're now able to tackle even bigger challenges and go after even bigger opportunities. What is one of the most significant positive outcomes from your journey with the agentic transformation for FDA?
I think, the way I think about it is probably two numbers, right? Like 80% and 90%. What do those numbers mean? They mean that at the FDA, 80% of the entire agency now uses AI, right? Which is wild when you think about it. That's about an 18,000 person organization. And people ask me oftentimes, like, what use cases are you being done with AI and agentic AI? And I'm like, well, at 80%, it's pretty much almost everything that we're doing at the agency. So I think the 80%'s an amazing number. And then when you get into like 90%, that's actually the adoption at CDER, which is the Center for Drugs. So, the adoption, level is sort of exceptional. And then that sort of transforms into, we have a workforce now at the FDA that, last year we were at like 1% AI. Now we're here, right? So you've got a highly skilled, highly educated workforce now having full access to the tools. And I think the other part too is the FDA is required to regulate AI in medical devices and in other areas. And so you want to have a highly educated workforce that's responsible for regulating the AI.
Pavan, let's get into some of the details. Department of Transportation was the first ever cabinet-level agency that transitioned in full, led by Pavan, to Google Workspace. And so would love to hear from you, Pavan, what that experience was like, how you drove that transformation, and what some of your most interesting findings have been.
I'll share some statistics. 22 days. That's what it took for us to create a production environment of having our workspace.
22 days.
22 days. 5 days from then was when about 25 people, including myself, my deputy, and everybody, started receiving our emails and chat funneling through the workspace environment. Less than 160 days is when the entire department that we were set for having to migrate were all done. In the process, we migrated over 1 billion email. One of the individuals' biggest number of emails that we migrated over was more than a few million emails. And then the longest one dated was like 1992, I believe.
Oh my God.
All of these things done in less than 160 days. We actually had a mandate of, 3 to 6 months we got to do something, and that something has to be big, which means it's not just we do something, it's also, most importantly, what are we not going to do anymore? That's the most important metric, right? Like I can keep launching new applications, new products, new platforms, but if the usability or the behavior of going back in the old way is not stopped, there is no point in launching new products. So for us, that was the goal of, in less than 6 months, we got to achieve, and what we achieve has to be big.
Ted, let's build on that, because for the city of Los Angeles, you too have adopted agentic tools and workspace. And give us some stories about how it's empowered the workforce across Los Angeles to really transform city services.
Certainly. They gave inspiring numbers. We've got some of our own. So when we think about World Cup this year, 2027 Super Bowl, 2028 Olympics and Paralympics, the Olympics alone, we are going to host 15 million visitors over a 2-week period, right? The world is going to be looking at Los Angeles. And so put yourself in the shoes. How do you empower 27,500 employees to handle this once-in-a-lifetime effort? The reality is you need force multipliers, right? You need tools like artificial intelligence, which don't replace our workforce, but they amplify their ability to deliver the customer service, the services, everything that's required to simply manage and run an event like that. The way I think of it, and I love this slide, the way I think of it is that if you're going to run the Olympics, you need to get stuff built, you need to get stuff done, you need to get stuff moving. What do I mean by getting stuff built? We are a no-build venue as a host city, which generally speaking means we've got a lot of the venues already. We've got the Rose Bowl and SoFi Stadium and Coliseum. However, we need to be able to build overlays. We need to be able to modify and retrograde a lot of these facilities. AI has been critical for smart retrofit planning, the ability to identify age, code compliance, materials, all the aspects of every venue, to then be able to run it through the models to then inform us what are all the upgrades and what are the options around it, or temporary overlay. Only with artificial intelligence can you sit down and say, run me 1,000 options around security, seating, accessibility, et cetera. This is how you get this done. I can't hire 15,000 more people. I need the tools to be able to facilitate those efforts. So that's how we get LA built for the Olympics. What about getting stuff done? That does impact the workforce. When I think about a workforce, we need to directly embed AI into the tools they're already using. That's why Google Workspace has been super powerful for us, and Gemini has been very powerful. I can't just say, hey, there's AI over here, go find it and use it, right? No, you've got your tool, and as you're utilizing, whether it's Gmail or Calendar or Forms or whatever it may be, now grab this and now amplify what you're doing. So we are finding that our employees are in the process of their work, and they're pulling in these content, pulling in these capabilities, and it's been super useful. Context-aware emails, the ability to translate messages into multiple languages. Where LA, we're extremely diverse. We've got to be able to communicate to people in their languages of preference. The ability to produce clear, policy-aligned, omnichannel communications. We often think of government as old-fashioned. I'll post a PDF on the web, go find it, and go figure it all out. This is what modern communications and modern government needs to be. And I think most importantly, where agents are playing a big role is in the business process and the workflow itself. It's not about, for us, it's not about an organization that at the top has all these tools and no one uses it. It's about individual teams taking advantage of tools and getting a ton of great things done.
One piece of actionable advice that they can take away today.
Build for adoption, not experimentation. This is not a fad. Lean into it and build to integrate AI tools across all workflows.
Thank you. Pavan.
Technology is technology. Leverage that for actually meeting the mission of the organization. It all ties back to what it is for us at DOT. It's safety, and anything we do, how does it tie back?
Thank you.
Be aggressive in your vision and iterate your implementation.
Thank you all so much for being here. I can't thank you enough for sharing the stage and telling your stories, and congratulations on the work that you are driving across your agencies. Thank you.
Yesterday, Thomas showed you our vision for the agentic enterprise. He showed you a world where your business isn't just a series of apps, but a single harmonious system. To make these agents work, we need to completely flip the script on how we think about data powering AI. Because there are three fundamental shifts happening right now. First, we're moving from human scale to agent scale. Second is a shift from reactive intelligence to proactive action. In the agentic era, it's not enough to report that an item is out of stock. The agent needs to find an alternative option, reroute the shipment, and save the sale without the customer even noticing. Third, we're moving from data to knowledge. Now, many vendors talk about their data platforms as a system of intelligence. But to be honest, in my opinion, those are the last generation data platform. A system of intelligence is reactive. The goal is no longer to just know. The goal is to take action. What you need is a system of action. Let's take a look at how the world's most iconic brands are activating their data to automate the future.
Pager Health is a connected healthcare platform, and our goal is to simplify the healthcare journey.
At UKG, we provide a solution that unifies HR, workforce management, and pay.
Geographically, we're the largest pediatric health system in the world.
Morrison's is one of the UK's largest supermarkets.
We are a home improvement retailer. Lowe's has been around for over 100 years.
Palo Alto Networks is a global cybersecurity leader.
We decided that Google Cloud was the right partner for us. We've got GKE running our core, Cloud SQL running transactional, BigQuery running analytics, and then enabling personalized experiences.
Spanner is like a Swiss Army knife. All our critical customer workflows are built on top of it.
BigQuery is the core. I call it data ocean because it's so big now.
Gemini is beautifully integrated into the Google stack and does an amazing job at translating the user input into a form that we need.
We chose DB for our transactional data solution and BigQuery for our analytical data store. We got 2 times the speed in the CPU. We were able to scale at a rate that supported our largest customers.
Now you have a connected ecosystem of this data for you to harvest practically near real time and provide insights.
When that all comes together, for us it was like going from treading water to jumping in a speedboat.
So what are these organizations doing differently? They certainly aren't using these so-called modern data stacks. These stacks, the same architecture some of you are running right now, weren't built for this agentic era. They break at agent scale and have a number of structural issues. So today we're excited to introduce the world's first agentic data cloud. Now we're the only provider that can deliver this today. Why? We didn't just bundle other providers' pieces. We're harmonizing the full stack from our market-leading AI infrastructure, our AI hypercomputer, our models, including Gemini, to our differentiated data systems, benefiting from all of Google's cross-company innovation.
Andy just outlined the architecture for a system of action. But what makes it real? Well, we're delivering it by rewiring the full stack across 3 areas. First, trusted context. To scale agents safely, you need a universal context engine. So I introduced to you today the Knowledge Catalog. The Knowledge Catalog analyzes usage logs across your entire organization and profiles your data behind the scenes. It doesn't just know what your data is, it's continuously learning how your enterprise uses your data. In addition, the Knowledge Catalog identifies useful collections of unstructured data and uses Gemini to automatically generate the missing schemas, mapping complex relationships so your AI is no longer flying blind. And to guarantee trust, we are delivering access control-aware search. The Knowledge Catalog enforces your security permissions natively. Agents can only retrieve and act on the assets that they are explicitly authorized to see. This is total security, high precision relevance at limitless scale. This brings us to pillar 3, borderless data. Today, we are breaking down the walls and introducing the cross-cloud lakehouse. Built entirely on the open Apache Iceberg standard, we're ending the era of proprietary data and catalogs. Starting today, we can natively read directly from Databricks Unity Catalog on Amazon S3. And for a truly universal view, we are adding Read Federation for Snowflake Polaris and AWS Glue Data Catalog We treat your data as yours, not ours. Today, we are launching the Google Cloud Data Agent Kit. We aren't forcing you into a new notebook or IDE. We are meeting practitioners exactly where they are. The Data Agent Kit brings our unique data, tools, and skills to any environment, whether that's VS Code, Claude Code, Codex, or Gemini CLI. Our kit equips your teams with 3 foundational components. First, agentic skills. These are the native instructions for Google's Agentic Data Cloud. It means your model knows exactly how to build native BigQuery pipelines or tune a Spark job on our Lightning engine. Second is MCP servers and tools. These provide the ability to actually connect to our data platforms, so your AI has the ability to read tables, write transactions, and execute the work. And third is deep plugins and extensions. These customize your everyday environment, like VS Code, to be a high-fidelity agentic environment. Our Data Agent Kit operates on one simple principle: intent-driven engineering. You simply define what you want to build, and the kit arms your AI with the exact skills and tools it needs to generate structural plans, write optimized code, and deploy it.
Hey, folks. So earlier you saw how a timely alert from a proactive agent enabled the head of operations to make a critical shift in logistics in minutes. Bet you thought that whole proactive agent tracking order cancellations was hand-waved, didn't you? Well, today, as the lead engineer of that same company, I'm going to recreate the agent in front of you. And I'm going to say, to the existing LookML project model, please add a measure to calculate order cancellations. OK, cool. And now that we've got that, I can next prompt for enhance the existing Business Pulse dashboard with order cancellation analytics. And in just moments, I have built and deployed a dashboard to monitor this in real time. OK, so now our agent has the context it needs about our data. The final step, let's create the proactive agent that actually uses the graph. I will prompt to monitor the order cancellation rate. If it spikes over 40%, use the graph model to perform a root cause analysis and send the findings to our head of operations via Gmail. And just like he showed you before, now in our workflows page, you can see our new agent, the proactive anomaly detector, is here and taking actions. The agent is armed not just with data, but the intelligence to understand it. That is the power of an agentic data cloud.
Now we've shown you the flexibility to activate your data anywhere. We've shown you the trust to ground agents in truth. We're here to tell you today that the era of passive intelligence is over. The future belongs to the system of action. Is your data platform ready? Will you build an assistant that just answers questions, which I call the Gen 1? Or are you actually going to build agents that are proactive, that can take action on your behalf? The choice is yours. We're, of course, here to build it with you.
We're not talking coffee, are we? My name is Mansoor Sharha, the Innovation and Technology Director for the City of Dearborn. You have contractors, residents coming to the City of Dearborn every single morning, lining up for an hour to 3 hours just to submit their permit. Google is known for their best in class when it comes to translation. We needed a partner that is able to translate that into action. Dearborn is considered top 5 cities in terms of diversity. Within the Middle East domain, you have multiple countries with different dialects. Imagine that. In addition to other languages, we were able to insert a knowledge base with all the terminologies that different Arabic countries use as a dialect. And we trained the system to pick those dialects. So when you say, when is my trash pickup in different Arabic dialects, Google was able to transform that into an AI within seconds. You get the right answer. When is the tax payment deadline? How do I pay my water bill? These questions were not getting the proper answers prior to implementing the chatbot. Now we have about 70% of our calls get filtered by the call center that is powered by AI. And most of these answers get answered even prior to an agent picking up the phone call. Not only that, we get sentiment analysis reports that the mayor, chief of staff take a look at. We were not able to get these data because it was all based on manual phone calls. Now, within seconds, I can pull the exact conversation or the issues that were addressed. The next level for us is a new technology that Google just released, Gemini for Government. We're trying to really improve efficiencies within departments. Obviously, security is a top priority for Google, and that makes us deliver digital transformation with ease in mind. Now, with Gemini for Government, we can insert 20 to 30 RFPs within minutes, and that process could go down from 4 to 6 weeks to maximum 3 to 5 days. I believe it's around election time where lots of people were clueless when it comes to how to vote due to lack of languages and translation. With the chatbot, people had clear answers. Helping someone to make the right decision on their voting ballot is absolutely a wow moment for us. Google Public Sector come to your site and address your problems first, not the other way around. We like Google Public Sector because they come with a straightforward problem-solving mechanism. With Google Public Sector, my city, the city of Dearborn, is building a new era of American innovation by providing 24/7 citizen services that is powered by Google Translation.
In just a few years, the industry has moved from AI chatbots to AI that thinks and reasons, and now AI that can act on your behalf. But for most organizations, there's still a gap between the promise of AI and the reality of daily work. Your best people are still stuck in the process of work. Your business speed is capped by how fast a human can manually connect the dots. Today, we flip the burden of work. We're entering the era where you're managing outcomes, not tasks. The industry is racing to build these agents, but most enterprises are hitting a wall. Why? Because frontier large language models have incredible capabilities, but they don't know how your business actually operates. At Google, we're breaking through that wall by bringing together two critical pieces of the puzzle: your work context and your enterprise context. First, Google Workspace, and then there's Gemini Enterprise. This is your company's central nervous system. But deploying powerful agents and connecting data isn't enough. You must trust their outcomes and govern their access. Many standalone AI solutions force a compromise. You either build custom controls from scratch, or worse, risk letting your proprietary data sit outside your existing guardrails. Google doesn't ask you to compromise. Our platform runs on Google's secure infrastructure and natively inherits the governance and security controls your IT teams have already approved. You get the best of both worlds, a truly new way to work that is still trustworthy. Agents without context and trust aren't assets. They're autonomous liabilities.
Workspace brings your work to you, but a business runs on complex, multi-step outcomes that cross the entire enterprise. Gemini Enterprise is a central nervous system for your organization. It's where your teams and AI work side by side, securely connected to your existing applications, backend data, and productivity suites, including both Google Workspace and Microsoft 365. We are empowering every employee to build and direct agents that execute tasks ranging from the simple to the highly complex. How? Introducing our Enhanced Agent Designer. Our Enhanced Agent Designer allows anyone
to build sophisticated agents through natural language without the need to write a single line of code. It empowers you to automate workflows while maintaining total control through a perfect balance of generative intelligence and deterministic business logic for guaranteed reliability. You can also seamlessly integrate human-in-the-loop checkpoints, ensuring your teams can review actions, grant approvals, or provide expert guidance exactly when it matters most. And we are not done yet. We are taking agentic automation even further. Today, we are introducing long-running agents that work autonomously for hours or even days to complete your most complex mission-critical tasks. And because enterprise workloads demand enterprise trust, these agents execute in their own isolated environments within Google's secure and governed cloud. As we shift from managing static apps to managing autonomous agents, you need absolute control and trust. We deliver that through the following foundational capabilities. First, agent identity. By giving each agent its own unique identity, you can enforce the principle of least privilege. Second, the agent registry. Think of this as your centralized, highly secure AI service catalog, giving your IT and security teams total visibility and control into every AI agent running anywhere in your enterprise. Finally, Agent Gateway. This acts as your centralized management point for network policies and data access, effectively turning shadow AI into managed AI. And for your most sensitive emails, files, and documents, we provide exclusive client-side encryption, where you hold the ultimate shield, the power to authoritatively deny data access to any agent and any entity, including Google itself, to maintain true technical sovereignty. Regulated organizations can restrict where their data is stored and processed to a specific region. Ultimately, all of this is built on a Google Cloud platform backed by a simple promise. Your data is your data.
We evaluated many options for coding, chat-based AI, custom agents, and we ultimately chose Google for three main reasons. Number one, it gives us a flexible, unified ecosystem. Gemini Enterprise provides the glue between all of our tools, and we can focus on what we do best. Number two, security. All of our data is safely stored in Workspace. Using Gemini Enterprise eliminates our need for third-party AI vendors, so we avoid a fragmented, piecemeal AI strategy. The more tools you use, the more risk vectors you have. Google provides the highest level of security in one place. And finally, third, best-in-class tools. We want a platform we trust to innovate and evolve with our needs.
Today, we explored what it truly means to build an agentic workplace. If you take away three things from our time together, let it be this. First, context is essential. Second, we're moving from tasks to outcomes. And third, we're turning shadow AI into managed AI.
My role is to work with Maryland state agencies to help them use AI responsibly and productively. My name's Lauren Maffeo. I'm the Senior AI ML Program Manager for the state of Maryland. My team and I want to build foundations and momentum around AI across Maryland state government. So everything that we do aims to weave responsible, productive AI adoption into agencies' fabrics and state operations. Maryland published our first AI roadmap this past January 2025. I would say that was the tipping point. We were aware that bringing this goal to life meant that we had to give our staff the right tools to build AI in the public interest and in a manner that met our standards for responsible use. Day to day, I would say that using Google Gemini to transcribe meetings for my team is the biggest game changer. And we use Gemini every day to transcribe our user interviews. Then we upload them to NotebookLM so that I can analyze the results. That has saved us countless hours of manual transcription, and it also gives us more time to focus on a wider range of work. The fact that Gemini offers built-in data loss prevention, doesn't leave your environment without permission, does not share data with Google or other agencies, and passed our vetting process made it a no-brainer. One of my favorite examples is a summer intern who used Gemini to make a no-code chatbot that can manage the response to comments process. It's going to save countless hours managing this response to comments process, which was completely manual before. In 6 months, we went from having no in-house generative AI available for our staff to use, and today, 1 in 3 eligible state employees is using Gemini regularly. One of the biggest ways that Gemini improves services for Marylanders is through cost savings. One agency saved $400K by having staff use Gemini to build an app at no added cost in 5 weeks versus $400K over 8 months, which the vendor had proposed. I am most proud of seeing our monthly AI community of practice grow by more than 300% in the first 3 months. We have about 150 people show up for this optional meeting each month, and more than anything else, I think this speaks to the momentum we've built by showing other states what responsible, productive AI in the public interest looks like. Our approach to AI shows that you don't have to sacrifice trust, speed, safety, or quality. You can do it all if you have your priorities in the right order and you have the right tools to help you get there.
AI is going to change almost every part of cybersecurity. We're seeing the emergence of new threat actors in the landscape, criminal organizations that are able to use AI to launch sophisticated AI attacks on people, even though they, as an organization, may not have had the skills to do this before. At the other end of the spectrum, we're seeing very advanced AI-led cyber attacking organizations like APT28 that are launching some of the most sophisticated fully agentic attacks on organizations. We're also seeing new takes on old attacks. We're seeing multimodal phishing attacks using AI, deepfakes videos accompanied by email to increase the success rate of phishing attacks. And while all that is playing out, AI is also creating a new landscape, a new threat surface that needs to be protected by organizations. The entire AI infrastructure. You have new models, you have agents, you have prompts, all of which need to be protected. In addition to the AI infrastructure, you have infrastructure that, frankly, you don't fully have control over. You have the shadow AI in your organizations, models and agents that are downloaded by employees. You have supply chains of your AI infrastructure, but of your entire state that also need to be protected that, frankly, you may not have had full visibility over.
Attackers are no longer moving at human speed. They're moving at machine speed. Our latest M-Trends report reveals the mean time to exploit vulnerabilities dropped to an estimated -7 days. That means that exploitation is routinely occurring before a patch is even released. As the only frontier model provider that is both a hyperscaler and a dedicated security company, Google leverages our unique insights to strengthen our offerings and continuously evolve the protection of our AI infrastructure, the data, the models, and the agents.
And so this has created a new threat environment that we have to deal with as defense professionals. And what that means is we can't just take our old cyber playbooks and use them. So as we think about agentic-led attacks, we are putting together a fully agentic defense. What that means is we're moving from a human-led defense to a human in the loop on defense to now a human on the loop of defense, where most of the heavy lifting of defense is done by a fleet of agents. So the first is our triage and investigation agent that is now generally available. And what it does is it reduces what is typically a 30-minute investigation time that's done manually to a 60-second resolution. That's a big deal when you need to make calls quickly. We're also announcing 2 new agents, detection engineering and threat hunting agents. The threat hunting agent continuously looks for emerging threats in your environment based on the intelligence we provide and best practices. Doing this all at infinite scale and at a fraction of the time that it would take humans to do that. The detection engineering agent looks for coverage gaps. It creates new detections based on findings and rolls them out automatically, making sure that you have full coverage.
In the last few minutes, Google SecOps has autonomously detected and contained an attack. Our SecOps triage and investigation agent that Francis talked about earlier gets to work. It works like an autonomous SOC analyst, analyzing vast amounts of data, threats, and context, and delivered a verdict of true positive with high confidence. And it did all of that in 1 minute. That would have taken at least 30 minutes. Google detects emerging threats, investigates and contains issues, hunts for threats, and simulates and fills rule coverage gaps, all autonomously. This is true unified AI defense.
You need a full agentic cyber defense strategy that can move at the speed of the attacks and keep focused 24/7, 365 days a year. And then you need to recognize that in today's world, all of us are multi-network and all of us are multi-model. That is why I am so excited about welcoming Wiz to Google. Wiz and Google have a shared vision. We want to improve security, making it easier and faster for organizations to protect themselves across all the major clouds.
We built Wiz to be the best context engine for security teams as well as development teams. And now they are also the best for AI agents to reason over all of the context. And this allows us to actually drive very precise recommendations that allow us to accelerate. Now, we've mentioned it before, Yanon talked about it on stage yesterday as well, but we have released a trio of security agents. The red agent is a continuous pen tester for your environment. The blue agent allows us to investigate threats as they happen. And the green agent autonomously creates complete remediation plans. This allows us to really accelerate our security operating model to not only be horizontal, but also agentic.
With Wiz, we can now detect threats in near real time, literally in milliseconds, and can fire off mitigations in less than 90 seconds, representing a 99.99% decrease in mean time to detect and a 98% decrease in mean time to respond. Wiz has been instrumental in helping us find and mitigate previously unknown critical risks across our cloud environments. Due to the deep context that Wiz provides, we identified 16 critical risks and reduced them to 0 very quickly. Wiz also accelerated our security assessments of acquisition targets. By gaining end-to-end CSPM, runtime, and code visibility, it allowed us to understand the cyber risks of a new acquisition in under 2 weeks, which previously took several months.
We're getting to a world where we are responding at machine speed to cyber threats. And we're getting to a world where we're tapping into the rich context we have of what's happening in the threat landscape, where our most important assets are, what our employees do on a normal basis. That is information attackers don't have. That is the defender's advantage, and that is our superpower. Thank you.
In my role, I work to keep our state services reliable, to protect our citizens' information, to recover when something goes wrong, and ultimately do so transparently and responsibly. My name is Gene Meltzer. I'm the CISO for State of Connecticut. Our Our main challenge is fragmentation, but really the root cause of all of this is a fragmented operating model. So without a unified plane, we have blind spots, we have lagged investigations, and ultimately leadership cannot see a unified risk picture of where our risks really do live. So we also have a confidence gap. When my leadership or elected officials ask, are we covered right now? All we can answer is probably. The uncertainty slows our decision making. The ultimate reality is that we've kind of walked into a perfect storm with our licensing expiring for our previous solution. So it was an opportunity we couldn't pass up to take a step back and evaluate what's available and uplift our capabilities across the state. Our goal was essentially to unify where it matters, a single telemetry platform and a case workflow that cuts seams across agencies. Since implementing Google SecOps, the team now has better capabilities to be able to faster and more effectively respond to ongoing threats. So our team is to spend more time on the creative areas of their work by elevating their skill sets and ultimately covering the areas that we haven't covered in the past. For us at state level, agentic AI needs to move from novelty to a force multiplier. It's about turning hours into minutes reliably, audibly, and while freeing experts to solve the hard problems that permanently reduce risk for a state. I'm really proud of not just our ability to respond to modern threats faster and more effectively, but ultimately upskilling our team with the skills they need to be able to compete in the modern workforce. Our team's forensic investigations took months or days prior to deploying Google SecOps platform, now take hours or fractions of days, and ultimately that's better outcome for us. Yeah, the most impactful way our team is using Google AI tools is by enabling less chasing of tickets and more closing of issues. With Google Public Sector, the state of Connecticut is building a new era of American innovation by using shared, modern, standards-based security platforms that reduce seams across our agencies, while equipping our teams with better tools and simpler workflows to solve higher impact problems faster.
Just like that, our sprint through the best of Next 26 is a wrap. What an incredible session. We've covered a massive amount of ground today, from the next generation infrastructure powering the AI era to turning vast data into actionable insight. We've seen how AI acts as a true force multiplier for public servants. And just as importantly, we've explored how to secure this new frontier with autonomous, AI-driven defense. But most importantly, seeing these solutions in action alongside our incredible agency partners highlights the very real impact happening on the ground right now. These powerful demos and real-world examples show exactly how government and education leaders are translating AI into tangible mission outcomes. The agentic era is here, and the public sector is actively leading the charge. Our goal at Google Public Sector is to make your modernization journey as seamless as possible. By providing a unified, secure, and open ecosystem, we remove the complexity of stitching together disparate tools, allowing you to focus entirely on accelerating your outcome. So let's keep the conversation going. Bring us challenges you're trying to solve, and we can work alongside you to build the exact solution your mission needs. Thank you so much for joining us on the best of Next 26. We cannot wait to see what we build together.